They also complain that their kitchen AC is not working. That's a condenser, guys.
This video is brought to you by Sporlan. Quality, integrity, and tradition. All right, Labor Day weekend was crazy for me. I was on call, and we just had so many calls come in. It was so hard to keep up with them. We also had an intense heat wave. It was over 120 degrees. It hit 121 at my house, but while I was out working, it actually was only about a 120 on all the days that I was out. But yeah, all weekend I was literally going around, and this is just a few of the calls, but I was literally going around resetting pressure controls, rinsing off condensers, and having to tell them I'll come back to follow up. In the very beginning of the video, I show myself diagnosing an issue with the walk-in freezer where the compressor wouldn't start. I didn't get footage of it, but I ended up having to change that compressor that night. It did not reset. I only got one winding to reset. The other two were still open, and I ended up having to do it that night, and it was just crazy and really frustrating, so I didn't get any footage. Then the next day actually was my most recent video where I was working on a York unit. I think the title was something, this was as annoying as a sticky booger or something like that. That was that weekend too. So there was a bunch more calls this weekend. These were just the unfinished ones, and I kind of figured I could make one big video out of it. So a lot of these calls, I ended up sending another one of my service technicians out to go finish them up. I really didn't get much more footage other than what you guys are seeing in this. So I'm going to go ahead and get on with the video now.
Saturday afternoon-ish, evening, 5 o'clock p.m. Walk-in freezer service call. Found that the circuit breaker was tripped. Found that one of the wires was burnt to the compressor. We don't have continuity on the windings, and this contactor doesn't look good. So I'm cooling off the compressor right now, and then I'm gonna swap out the contactor in hopes that we can get it to start up. Now there's some history on this bad boy. The customer is replacing this equipment. We condemned it about 3 weeks ago. The pressure relief keeps bypassing when it's not very high pressure, so it's weak inside. We've had a misting device on it temporarily, and supposedly today they came out here and found out that maybe the pest control guy was treating for pests and he turned off the water or something like that. So it's just one of those crappy situations. I'm hoping I can get it to reset tonight, but like I said, I'm cooling it off right now. To be honest with you, the compressor's pretty cool, so I'm gonna let it sit and see if it reset. I'm gonna change the contactor real quick. All right, it's about 8:30, 9 o'clock, something like that at night. We've got a walk-in freezer that's not working. We don't have any ice on the coil. No fan motors running. Things are still somewhat frozen. I guarantee their ice cream's gone now. We're gonna jump on the roof, see what we can find. All right, this is my condensing unit. It's dirty. I bet you anything we're gonna have bad condenser fan motors. We're in the middle of an intense heat wave. I hit 120 today at my house, so let's open this guy up. Yeah, it has a resettable pressure control, so pretty much guarantee we're gonna have a trip pressure control. I'm gonna open it up. That's not good though, because there's oil on this right here. Let's hit the pressure control. Ooh, no, it's, oh, there it goes, it reset, okay. We're gonna clean the condenser. Both condenser fan motors are running, so looks like it was just a tripped head pressure. They also complain that their kitchen AC is not working. That's a condenser, guys. 100% solid. That's insane. I wonder if I can peel it off. No, but still running. It's just probably tripped on every head pressure control imaginable. Let's open this guy up. I'm not here for the kitchen AC tonight. They can pound sand on that. But let's see what this guy says. Oh, it's cooling. Discharge air temp 85. Return air temp 86. Wow. What is going on here? It's running. Whew. Boy, oh boy. Oh wow. What a mess. Look at this. The metal mesh filters are so plugged it sucked one in. That's crazy. Lack of preventative maintenance for you guys. All right, I'm gonna clean this walk-in cooler compressor or condenser unit. Check this out, guys. That's a fire in Yucaipa, California. It's crazy. Oh, let's see what comes out of this bad boy. It actually isn't as dirty as I thought it would be, so I'm a little bit concerned about that. I don't know. I mean, it's coming out pretty bad. And we did hit 120 today, so I'll make sure I get in there and get it real good. All right, I didn't show it on camera, but before I rinsed the condenser, I put my service gauges on here. And my head pressure wasn't obscenely high. I kind of wanted to prove that it had a dirty condenser because it wasn't horrendous like the AC over there. So I'm a little concerned. But what I did do is I measured the current draw on both motors. They're not overamping whatsoever. So I don't think a motor's locking up. They're hot, but they're not overamping, I don't think. Actually, well, they're running 0.87, which didn't sound bad, but I'm gonna get under there and verify. So also, when I reset that high pressure control, it was kind of funny how it didn't reset at first. So it kind of makes me wonder if the high pressure control is starting to fail. Now, I'm not gonna change that tonight, and we're supposed to cool down tomorrow. And I got another walk-in freezer that's down too, about an hour away from here. So this is all they're gonna get tonight. It's running. I'm gonna tell them to keep an eye on it. I'll follow up in the morning. I was trying to get out of here so I can run to the other call before the restaurant closes, but I don't know if I'm gonna make it because we got a bad fan motor too, so I'm gonna have to change that too. Much better. Again, temporary. I'm gonna come back and be more thorough. I have a feeling we have a pressure control failing, but I got another walk-in freezer to get to. So walk-in freezer number 2. One fan motor's dead. No ice really on the back of the coil. I'm gonna jump on the roof and see what's going on. This is my walk-in freezer condenser. We got a high pressure control. High pressure control was tripped. Condenser's a little dirty. It's not horrendous, but we're gonna pull the top, same as the other one, check the current draw on the motors, clean the condenser, and see if we can't get them running. I don't have another one of those evaporator fan motors for tonight, but they can run with just one fan motor. With one bad fan motor, it'll be okay. This one is allowed to run 0.49. This one is allowed to run 1.1. That one's slightly overamping. I wonder if we had a motor locking up, maybe. Oh, you know what though? No, wait a minute. That's not correct. That was an incorrect reading. Let me redo that. I was reading both the motors. It's running 0.83, so this motor's not overamping either. So neither of the motors is overamping. So this happens. Number one, these pressure controls are not very accurate, okay? After a couple years, well, after many years, they start to prematurely trip. But then on top of that, we hit 120 degrees today again, like I said earlier. And we have an ever so slightly dirty condenser. I don't even think I need water. I'll just bring up my blower, blow it out real quick, and then we'll call this one good for tonight. And what we'll do is, check that out. You can see the moon in the distance. It's all orange because of the fires. What we'll do is we'll come back and get rid of that pressure control and put in a standalone high pressure. That's adjustable, much more accurate. All right, let's blow this guy out. Watch, you'll see dust flying everywhere. The little Milwaukee blower kicks ass. All right. Now, a couple things, I used some senses of mine. When I walked up, it's cooling off outside. Even though we had 120, it's probably only about 85 outside right now. There's a bit of coolness in the air. There's not very much heat discharging from this. Now, I'm not gonna put my service gauges on this because I don't see the need right now. I've got a cold suction line. My discharge line is hot to be expected, but I don't feel a lot of heat being discharged out like, you know, we're running high head pressure or anything. Again, I'm taking some shortcuts right now, but I'm just trying to put some fires out. We're gonna get them going. We have to come back to follow up to change that evaporator fan motor. They're closing right now, and yeah, they theoretically could leave me in here if I wanted to overnight, but I really don't want to, so I'm pretty confident they'll be okay. And to be honest with you too, today is Sunday, tomorrow is a holiday. They were going to wait until tomorrow. When I told them I was going to do another service call for another walk-in freezer, I said theoretically it could be a couple hours before I get there, and they were like, oh, it's no big deal, we'll wait until tomorrow. Well, they're not going to be here till like 9 or 10 a.m. tomorrow. I don't want to waste my whole day waiting for them to get here, so that's why I wanted to come out tonight. Service call on a walk-in freezer today, and a beer walk-in, to be honest with you, but this is what I come to first. The walk-in freezer's all iced up behind those. Big old chunk of ice on the ceiling, so it's gonna be fun because they got a lot of stuff inside this walk-in right now. Walk-in freezer condenser, it's iced all the way up, back up into here. What I'm gonna do is throw it into defrost, eliminate the defrost termination for the time being, because like I said, their beer walk-in's down too. So I'll let the electric heaters do the work while I'm working on the beer walk-in. All right, defrost clock's right here. I shut off power, I confirmed it was dead. Down in here, I'm gonna get to the X terminal. We're gonna remove this. And we're going to energize the system, put it into a really long defrost, and we're gonna let that do its magic while I'm working on the beer walk-in. So the beer walk-in, I'll tell you, has a refrigerant leak at the evaporator coil, and we have equipment, or the customer has equipment on order already. I remember seeing an email correspondence about 3-4 days ago saying that they were just getting the equipment ready to ship, so I'm pretty confident that's just going to be low on charge, so we'll have to top off the charge on that guy. Hopefully that's all that's wrong. Customer also asked me to look at their kitchen AC. I already told them it's not happening today. Let's see, I'm just going to do a quick code 13 high pressure, so I can reset the codes. It might get them by, but more than likely they're going to have bad condenser fan motors or just a dirty condenser. Condenser on this is shot from the coil cleaners. And what's this side look like? Doesn't look horrendous, but I bet you anything we're gonna have fan motors that are bad. This one's trying to start, it's not. So yeah, multiple condenser fan motors probably. I'll get a count here in a few minutes, so that way when we come back we can have them with us. And then this is not cool. I don't like people leaving this crap up here. This drives me nuts. And belts, that drives me nuts. But we'll have to clean all that stuff up. Actually, the head pressure control was tripped on this bad boy. Let's see what the sight glass does. It's flashing right now, so we'll see if it clears up. I might just have to top off the charge. But this bad boy had we had over 120 degrees over here over the weekend, so condenser doesn't look that bad. It's a little bent, but we'll see. So I threw the unit into a defrost. This is the beer walk-in, and why I did that is because the pump down or the solenoid valve is right there, is controlled by the defrost clock, and I wanted to see if there was the potential that the unit was overcharged. It's currently 100 degrees outside, and so by doing that, we're testing to make sure someone didn't put too much refrigerant in there, because like I said, we already know this unit has a leak and we've had to come out and top off the charge many times. So going through this, no, it's pumping down just fine. It's not a struggle at all, so more than likely it's not overcharged. So I think it just got too darn hot outside and we tripped the high head pressure. Let's see, it looks like it's set for about 375, which I could easily see it getting to that when we had extreme temperatures. I'm gonna go ahead and open it back up. So yeah, we might have just had a tripped head pressure. I reset 1, 2, 3 of these just yesterday alone. It's currently Labor Day Monday right now, so All right, we got a bunch of ice back there, a little bit over there in that corner, really thick. This motor didn't look to be spinning very fast, but it could be that there's a chunk of ice on the back side of the coil too, you know, restricting the airflow, possibly, we'll see. But yeah, you get back here and you can see like there's a ton back there. So this looks like it's been there for a while, been thawing, defrosting, you know, just through the natural defrost cycle. So at this point, I've still got the heaters running. I need to go power them down so I can get in here with water and start melting all this. Defrosting using hot water. I find, in my personal opinion, hot water goes lots faster than a torch, and you're not filling the box up with toxic gases that you have to breathe. So people ask me that often, how come I don't use a torch? So this entire weekend, I've been doing service calls, and basically, they've been put out the fire calls. I'm not able to complete many of them because we literally ran so many that were out of parts and stuff. So, like for instance, I mentioned yesterday I left the unit with a evaporator fan motor bad, I think. Yeah, I left one unit with a bad evaporator fan motor because I used one on another one. We're literally just going, cleaning condensers, resetting pressure controls that are faulty, you know, or cutting out too early. This happens when we get these crazy heat waves where you're just kind of triaging the situation, get them up and running, and then we usually go back over the next 2 weeks and start doing permanent repairs. Little things that drive me nuts. Walk-in freezers ice up all the time. When you zip tie or tape wires for the fan motors, it's one more step that you have to do when you're defrosting coils. I'm not a fan of zip tying like this. That's what these little hanger things are for, or taping, I should say. So, you know, like don't tape them unless you absolutely have to, because it just makes it one more step that you got to do when you're defrosting stuff. When I'm defrosting this stuff, I'm not really getting on the backside. For the most part, I usually can get it all from the front side, because all you got to do is let the backside steam off. If you just put this on here and just spray the big chunks off and then start spraying through the coil when you're done, just going back and forth, the back will just fall off. And I don't make messes when I clean these boxes. There's barely any water getting down there. If I start to notice the drain pan getting full, I stop for, you know, 60 seconds, let it drain, and then start again. So I see people saying that when they use water it makes a mess. It's because if you do it right and you take your time, it's still going to be faster than using a torch, and you don't make a mess at all. I mean, there's a couple little drips, but that's it. It's not getting on the floor, nothing. So like I said, I was steaming everything off, and then it all just started to fall. See all the ice back here. Now there's just a thin layer on the roof, but for the most part, it's all off the coil. It's just all on the roof, so I'll take a little tool. Looks like there's still a little bit on the coil back there, but I'll end up taking a tool and just knocking that stuff off the roof. All right, I turned on the power and left it in heat, or in defrost, so that way I could test the defrost heaters. Again, the limit switch is disconnected at the moment. So the bottom heater's working. If I can do this without blowing anything up. Kind of tight. Top heater's working. How many heaters is there? There's only 2 heaters. So there's one in the middle of the coil, and then there's one at the bottom. They're both working. So we're good. I'm gonna take it out of defrost and check the fan motors now. All right, I fired it back up and just put 4 defrost, but this defrost clock is really sticky. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be doing a follow-up here. We're going to come back and see if we have the right time on the defrost clock when we come back. Now the question is, I don't see the need to put gauges on there, but we'll see. Sight glass is clear, fan motors are working. We'll watch how fast it comes down to temp. I'm not even going to watch the whole thing. Just from the way it was iced up, I'm not too concerned about it. It looked like it had been thawing and defrosting for a while. More than likely they left a door open or something like that. All right, it's already coming down in temp quite a bit. All the fan motors are working, so it's just an airflow thing. Well, like I said, we're gonna come back and follow up. I'm gonna talk to them about cleaning up that ice. That's pretty much the only mess that I made, is those chunks of ice. So that's it for now. Don't know why I do this to myself, but I can tell that just from the outside of those fans that the walk-in cooler is completely plugged. That coil is hammered. That'll be another thing we'll have to do another day, but it's temping fine. I just wanted to know.
That was a really crazy weekend. That happens every once in a while, and you get these crazy heat waves that come through. We hit 120. I think we actually hit 121, to be honest with you. At my house, we hit 121, but when I was actually out working, it was only 120. But it was nuts because I was getting so many service calls and I really had no time to even dig into the service calls. It was just reset a pressure control, clean a condenser, move on, you know. And most of the calls that were in this video, I didn't even follow up on. Another call that was in this weekend was the kitchen AC, the York package unit that I got all pissed off because the screws were in a weird place. That was that Saturday morning. I think it was Saturday or Sunday morning. That was one of the days. So there was a few more service calls too, but this was just a few of the little things. I ended up sending one of my other service technicians to follow up on most of these, change the evaporator fan motor, figuring out an iced up issue, just follow-ups. We really haven't even had an opportunity. Like, I was kind of concerned about some of the pressure controls being, you know, cutting out too early and stuff. And to be honest with you, I got so much going on. They're working. I haven't even had a chance to really go back on them. Nor do I know if I'm going to. I'm just going to kind of probably let them be. It's crazy how just a simple weekend like that can change everything. Like right now, we're not even that busy per se. When you think about in past years what we would be doing in the summertime, we've been relatively slow. I'm a guy short right now because I have a guy that's out of work because he injured himself. And so I'm running with 2 service technicians and my other guy that does maintenances and helps me do installs and stuff like that. So we're just really running with 2 service techs and we're not that crazy busy. But then something like this happens this last weekend and we're going crazy. I'm sure going to be glad when this year is over. When I say that, I mean I'm hoping that when this year is over, we can kind of get back to somewhat of a normal thing, you know? Definitely interesting year to say the least. But really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch these videos. I know this one wasn't a normal one where I show resolutions and things, but I figured, you know what, you guys can see the chaos that I go through. So Monday evenings, 5 p.m. Pacific, I go live on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. Friday evenings, I go live on the HVAC Overtime channel with my buddies, and you guys can look in there. There'll be links in the show notes of the videos and stuff for the HVAC Overtime channel. If you guys are interested in supporting, merch available at hvacrvideos.com. And then also you guys can use, if you're interested in purchasing any tools, you guys can go to truetechtools.com. Use my offer code BIGPICTURE, one word. If you know what tools you're going to purchase, shoot me over an email, hvacrvideos@gmail.com, and I'll shoot you an affiliate link that'll actually benefit me a little bit more. You still get the same savings, but I just get a little bit better of a commission, basically. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Really appreciate it, and we will catch you guys on the next one.